It was Fed week. They increased rates. We knew that was coming. Let's talk about why that's a good thing. And honestly, guys, I think this is really good. If you're in the real estate business or you're a home builder, I think some of the stuff you're going to show here can really help you guys out because, and I know it sounds self-serving. I think it's still a good time to buy. Here's why. Let's go through this, guys. First of all, rates. So the top blue ones, FreddieMac.com, showing rates are at 6.8. That usually has about 0.7, 0.8 points with it. You look down at mortgage rates. This is from Mortgage News or Mortgage Daily News, Mortgage News Daily. I don't know, but it's somewhere at the same rate, same thing, about 7%. So they're in the high sixes, call it low sevens, is what it is. This was the chart when I pulled this morning. We've actually lost a little bit of momentum. Here's why I think we still have good days to come. We got a lot of work to do, by the way. You see that black line, and even this 25-day moving average. That's formidable. I mean, we can't get above it. Remember, green is good. So when we get above this thing, like that really big candle come from a couple of days ago or a couple of weeks ago, that's inflation numbers helping us out. And I think that's more to come. So here's why I say that. So the Fed did raise the interest rates by 0.25%. That was known, 25 basis points. But here's their Fed minutes. And there's actually a little half page that's left over, but this is really it. Guys, all they did is literally change 2 sentences of their Fed statement, basically saying, hey, we're going from modest to moderate pace as far as expanding with the economy. So again, it's how do you want to read that to where it's maybe it's slowing down to a moderate pace. They decided to raise rates. And so ultimately not a lot of change. And they were coming out, really hawkish, but now it's not so much where they're probably still got one more in them, but this is the chart we keep coming back to, guys. This is the cost of shelter, to put a roof over your head. And so the CPI, that's what they're in the PCE. Those are the two biggest inflation measures that the government looks at. And really, they love the PCE. And that comes out tomorrow on Friday. So guys, you can see how these numbers, the shelter costs, it's 43% of the CPI number and 21% of the PCE. So check this out. It lags, right? Look at the big blue line and how it spiked back there in June of last year compared to where it is now. And what they're going off of is the yellow line, which is the CPI shelter cost year over year change. It's just now hitting that crest. So as this shelter cost catches up to real time, because they are going down, or the rent and things like that, it's going to help inflation. And they've already gone from inflation of, they've already cut it more than half. And so here's now why I say it's a good time. Rates can, should, and probably will be coming down in the near future. When inflation comes down, our rates should follow. It's just going to take some time for this medicine to kick in. So here's the number of units. This is from Mortgage Bankers Association. This is the annual units that are being projected. In 2023 is their projection. So they're accounting for the second half of the year. They think we're on pace for about 4.3 million mortgages to have been done. Check out the volume. In the last 13 years, 14 years, that's by far the fewest amount, which tells you the number of transactions is obviously lower. If you're in the industry, you see it and feel it. But check this out. So even though there's fewer buyers, people say, oh, it's not a good time and rates and this, that, and the other. Check this out. The average number of offers received on a home for sale has been going back up to 3.5. And this is June of 2023. So it's wild is it never even got below 2 just in the last year or two since the whole COVID pandemic craziness. But look at this, the spike was about a year ago, a little over a year and 2 months. April, there were about 5.5 offers per sale, which is nuts. But now we're already back up to 3.3, 3.5. So if you guys know, if you're selling the right home, priced right in the right area, it is moving fast. And there is a frenzy right now. Percentage of properties sold above list price, 33%. So that means 1 out of every 3 homes has somebody paying more than what the seller is asking for. Again, it is a hot market. Yes, there are fewer transactions happening, but more so, and here's what we're going to show you in a second. Look at the percentage of properties sold less than 1 month. It is 3 out of every 4. I saw some stats for Dallas and Collin County yesterday. I think the average time on the market is quote unquote gone up to 35 days, from 21 to 35. Guys, that's 4 weekends. That's still a month, right? 34 days, 33 days, whatever it was for Dallas and Collin County each. That's crazy. Houses are still selling fast. It's just not 3 weeks. Now it's taken, I think it was technically a 13-day change from what it was year over year. Big deal. You got to wait 2 more weekends to sell your house, but it's still a hot market. And here's why people are I'm waiting for the housing to come down. Guys, there is a shortage. I've been screaming this for all these videos. Go back and look at these stats. So Case-Shiller, everybody kind of, if you don't know that, that's kind of a big dog as far as what determines appreciation. The next one, FHFA, that means loans or houses with mortgages. So cash buyers are part of Case-Shiller, which is why on the far right, the numbers, Case-Shiller is always going to be a little bit lower than FHFA. Why? Because when you pay cash for a home, you might get a little sweeter deal. So the appreciation doesn't show as much. So CoreLogic, that's another big one. You've probably heard of that. Black Knight, you may have heard of that. Zillow, everybody's heard of. But check it out. The ones that are in yellow, which is Zillow's right now, June, all-time high in real estate values. And guys, this year, the lowest number, 5% appreciation. That means a $500,000 home today. If you want to wait one more year for things to cool off, that means next year, $25,000 is added to that home for 5% appreciation. So again, if you don't buy today, that's fine. Just realize you're going to pay 5% more for that home next year this time if these numbers keep pace. And they have been. Even last year, the whole market was up 6%. So here's the part I was saying about the buyers. Like sellers don't want to sell because they got that 2%, 3% rate. Home builders need to sell homes to stay in business. So the graph on the left, new homes that are new homes that are part of the whole, just how many homes get bought. It's about 1/3 of transactions right now, which is wild. And you guys can look at the numbers. I thought this graph was really interesting. Overall, historically, I usually assumed it was about 10 to 12%. Looks like I wasn't too far off. So I'd say let's call it 12, 13% on average. And it wasn't until just this last decade that things started, they plummeted down to the mortgage meltdown. I get that. But now it's 1 out of every 3 transactions. But check it on the right, the number of starts. Builders aren't starting that many homes. They just had that pickup. But look at the big drop from last year when rates went to 7, middle of the year last year. Builders just screeching halt. So this quote unquote weak home drop and value prices coming down, it was mostly at the end of last year when builders were just clearing out their inventory, and then they push reset and now they're back at it. So understand, builders still are not building enough homes, especially here in Dallas-Fort Worth, to accommodate. So prices will continue to go up and rates can and will come down for refinances. Please share that data. Hopefully it helps you. So this is my fun fact for the week. Apparently, Taylor Swift's, I saw the left article, I saw little Miss Tay or whatever they call her, Tay. She's making $40 million this year just doing her tours. I thought that was fascinating. So if you want to read it, push pause and it gives you the breakdown of the math. And then also the fascinating part, apparently her GDP is basically more revenue than 35 different countries of the world. So she's a country in herself just doing her tour just this year. So there you go. That's my fun fact for the week. As always, guys, get social with us. A lot of you have been commenting on our social. I love you. You've told me verbally. Please do it on the actual social. Please share with your friends, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We'd love and appreciate it as always. And have a great week and share these slides. I know it's a lot, but man, don't convince anybody. Don't sell. Just if somebody thinks about they want to buy or what the market's doing, just say, cool, what do you think prices are going to do? Up or down? Oh, they're going down. Why do you think that? They probably don't have a real good answer outside of the headline. Show them these stats. Supply and demand is real. Prices are going up. Nobody's making that up. I didn't fudge these numbers. Those are real numbers. So call us if you need us. We're happy to help explain this to borrowers. And as always, guys, when you think mortgage, think Mark.